Top of the morning to you. I hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. Folks, I'm going to pull a Rachel Maddow on you this morning, and I do apologize. We're going to jump in the Wayback Machine, and we're going to go back and talk about a few things to frame this discussion. We have all dealt with this asshole, and it's important that we understand these assholes, and there's going to be copious amounts of the use of the word asshole, because that's who these people are. When I say these people, I mean my Republican family, your Republican family, that crazy ass aunt and uncle, yada yada yada, father-in-law, whatever. They're assholes. When it comes to politics, they are assholes. So let's start with this first video where Charlie Kirk talks about democracy and why it's a bad idea. Go ahead and roll the video.
You see, the Electoral College is a Republican idea, not a Republican Party idea, but a small r republic idea. The American founders were extremely wise. The Constitution spreads power across branches of government, but it also spreads over geography and time. This is what makes a republic different than a democracy. I have been on the record, and I'll say it again, democracy is a bad idea. We are not a democracy. Democracy is unsustainable. They always say, our democracy, our democracy, our democracy. We're not a democracy, and we never should be a democracy. Democracies fold very quickly. In fact, you can go back to numerous citations of ancient wisdom about the warnings of democracy. Look, it's very difficult to take over the American political system on a whim or a passing political moment. Think about Floydapalooza during the summer of 2020. You need to convince voters in different states with different backgrounds, demographics, needs, jobs, economic concerns to work in harmony together. This system has worked very well to preserve our freedom and liberty. You see, a republic is designed to pursue liberty, which is the pursuit of virtue. To protect liberty, which is the pursuit of virtue. That's what a republic is good at. A democracy is good at giving away a lot of free stuff and then giving you a tyrant.
Okay, Charlie Kirk there says democracy is a bad idea, and he goes into this yada yada yada. We've all dealt with this child. You know, this usually comes out of the mouth of a child, and there's a reason he's saying it, because Charlie Kirk runs an organization called Turning Point USA, and your child is his target audience. Not even kidding, folks. He's on college campuses and high school campuses. He has put chapters of his organization nationwide, and he is soaking your children in this stupidity, and he's getting help from right-wing assholes, especially right-wing asshole administrators and principals that are forcing this shit onto the campuses so that he can teach them incorrect things like this. This is a false argument. It's a false premise. The reason they do it, it goes back to that old political expression that you've heard me mention several times from LBJ. If you tell the lowest white man that he's better than the best black man, you don't have to pick his pockets, he'll turn his pockets out for you. And what that expression means is that if you tell the lowest white man that he is better than insert label here, in this case for this video, we're going to put Democrat as that label, he will do ridiculous things for you. And we all know that's been proven out to be true. This argument that you just heard is a function of that. What it is it is saying, you're so stupid, you don't even know that democracy is bad. And then he goes on to talk about a democracy in its rawest form that none of us believe it is. He puts a false premise argument out there that we're not making, have never made, and said that our argument is stupid when we never made that argument, so that he can tell his kids how smart they are. The kids that are in his organization, how smart they are. Look how smart they are. Good God. You're so much smarter than those Democrats that believe in democracy, when democracy is a failed form of government. Kernel of truth there. Yeah, pure democracy is a failed form of government. That is where every individual in a country votes on every individual issue, and those countries cannot function. They fail immediately. That's why we have a democratic republic. We know that, but we want to hold on to the democratic part of that because we'd like to elect our leaders, not have them appointed for us. Yeah, we would like our fingers into the mix. We like our democracy. See, democracy and republic are not counter to each other. They don't oppose each other. A representative republic, we know we're electing leaders. When we say we want to protect our democracy, we're not talking about doing away with Congress. But they put that false premise argument up so they can say they are superior. That's the point of that argument. And the fact that they're right now attacking our democracy portion of our democratic republic. And they want your kids to be okay with it. That's the point of that video. Now, we have another video from Charlie Kirk right now. Play it.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at all these places, and there's a little bit of mention here. For example, Politico says top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. Of course you should reject any link. Why is the Republican Party, why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home, or maybe not breaking into somebody's home? Why are we to blame for that exactly? And why is he still in jail? Why has he not been bailed out? By the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like $30,000 or $40,000. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions. I wonder what his bail is. They're going after him with attempted murder, political assassination, all this sort of stuff. I'm not qualifying it. I think it's awful. It's not right. But why is it that in Chicago you're able to commit murder and be out the next day? Why is it that you're able to trespass, second-degree murder, arson, threat of public official, cashless bail? This happens all over San Francisco, but if you go after the Pelosi's, oh, you're let out immediately.
Okay. Now, let's deal with some reality here. Okay, the reality is that we here at Meidas Media have been telling you the facts. We've been telling you the facts. We have no fucking clue what David DePape was wearing. We're not going to tell you what he was wearing because nobody's come out and told us. The right wing, because they are assholes, my right wing family, your right wing family, people that are not in our family, that are in our Facebook circle, they are assholes. They're assholes. They think they're better than you. They think they're smarter than you. They listen to people like Charlie Kirk and other right-wing commentators, and then they regurgitate it back out and feel self-superior. They're assholes. And it's proved in what you just saw. Did you see Charlie Kirk when he said, well, you know, when he was decrying the violence and he smiled and raised his eyebrows? Yeah, that's a bad thing. Fucking asshole. That's who they are. My family, your family, have been talking about hanging Nancy Pelosi for years. They do. They sit around, they talk to each other, and they say shit like, that fucking Pelosi, we need to hang her ass. They've been doing that shit for years, man. They've said it to me. And I've told them to their face, you're a fucking asshole. That's who they are. Little reality check. The police came out and gave us the facts. Now we can report them. A fully clothed David DePape broke into the back door of Nancy Pelosi's residence, Nancy and Paul Pelosi's residence. The Speaker of the House wasn't there. Out of his own mouth, he has told police that he was there to torture Nancy Pelosi, to zip tie her up, duct tape her up, and then beat her with a hammer, an elderly woman who is the Speaker of the House of the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States of America, was going to tie her up and beat her because she was a Democrat. That's what he said. That she was the head of Democrats, and the whole world needs to see what happens to me and you and us, all of us that are Democrats. Why? Because they're assholes. They're ignorant fucking assholes. They have no clue about a single legislative agenda or anything that's actually going on. They've been soaked in culture war bullshit. And it's all they are. They're assholes. Listen to what this man says. A hero needs to go bail this person out. Reality check. Paul Pelosi is an 82-year-old elderly man who's still, as I make this video, in an ICU because he is not yet out of the woods. They're hoping and thinking he's going to make a recovery, but it won't be a full recovery because of the extent of his head wounds. He was put in a hospital, beaten with a hammer by a right-wing MAGA asshole. And this fucknugget, Charlie Kirk, says, well, why should we be responsible? Because he's one of you. Out of his own mouth. He's listened to you and people like you and believes you and wants that to believe you, his self-superiority, and was going, he felt so personally superior that it was his job to go beat the most powerful Democrat he could think he could get his hands on. That's reality. That's reality. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene said we should hang Nancy Pelosi. That's why he did it. Because you told him to. So yeah, you own that. You are responsible for that. Every right-winger should be held responsible for that at the ballot box. Just like you should hold your family responsible for that in political discussions. When they say shit like that, you're an asshole. Just framing it in reality, you are an asshole. That's what you need to tell them. And I know what you're saying, Paul, don't do that. We've got an election coming up. Don't do that. Oh yeah, do that. Do that. Tell them they're assholes. Don't fucking coddle these pricks. They're useless. They're assholes. Then he says, be a hero and bail this fucker out. What a low-life piece of shit. What a low-life piece of shit. And he has chapters of his organization in your kid's school. Check it out. Take these videos of Charlie Kirk up to your school and show them what they are exposing your children to. This was on his radio show that he encouraged the members of his organization to fucking listen to. The members being your children. Folks, he's trying to hook your children the same way he hooked your stupid fucking ignorant uncle. Telling them they're better than everybody else because they've got this little bit of knowledge that's not knowledge and it's not real. It's stupidity. But it makes them feel like they're smart. Makes them feel like they're better than everybody else. Folks, I'm telling you, we have to get on this. I know this was a longer video, but damn it, it is something we have to address. The reality is there's an 82-year-old man who is still fighting for his life in an ICU as I tell you these words, who was attacked by a MAGA piece of shit, just like your neighbor. He's no different than your neighbor. You know, they're trying to make him another, hey, he was a nudist hemp jewelry maker. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He worked odd jobs. We know that. Yeah, he made some jewelry because he could make some money off of that, but he did anything he could to make jobs because he was a fucking lowlife that could not fucking hold a job because he was so far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole that they want their voters in. They want all their voters down there with David DePape. They do. They want to believe in all that shit they say, or they wouldn't say it. Folks, you have to vote. The only way you end this is voting. The only way you shut your crazy ass papa up is to vote. When he loses so many times, he will abandon these people because they will not make him feel like he's superior anymore. Vote. That's how you do it. I'm not telling you to take a fucking hammer and beat your fucking neighbor because he's a Republican. Because I'm not a goddamn psychopath like Charlie Kirk. Yeah, decry the violence. No, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you to vote. It's that important. That's why everybody, well, my vote don't matter. Bullshit! Your vote says that is wrong. Your vote matters. No matter where you are. Vote. And subscribe here. Get this message out. Take me to your goddamn school and let them watch this video. Warn them about the language. So you need to listen to this man because you've got a chapter of a guy talking to our kids that says this shit. That somebody that bailed out somebody that was going to kidnap and torture an elderly woman is a hero. Every fucking Turning Point USA chapter needs to be kicked off every campus fucking immediately. Immediately. I love you folks. This is Old Texas Paul. Hit that button. Hit the like button. Make a comment. It makes this video circulate out even farther into YouTube. And I'm asking you, we are not corporate owned. Buy some shit if you can. If you can. If you can't, I understand. Holidays are coming up. I understand. But if you can, if you got 20, 30 bucks, go shopping. Buy you a mug. Buy you a Rovember shirt. Show people that you give a shit about women's rights. I love you folks. This is Old Texas Paul out. You'll have a wonderful day.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs, It Wasn't Rigged, You're Just a Loser, at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.